Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal, Wednesday, July 31st. Welcome to the energy this week. Chiron has gone retrograde in Aries. We are in the retrograde shadow period for Mercury, which will go retrograde full on the 5th. We have a new moon in Leo on the 4th, and we are going through some of the most crazy solar flares and galactic weather that we've ever experienced. Shit is wild. So, if you're feeling a bit off, that tracks. So, I wouldn't sweat it too much. The aches and the funky sort of mood swings are definitely a thing that I'm noticing across the board with myself, with clients, with people I interact with people at work. And I think that it is something we need to take into account, is that everyone's stuff is getting shook up and everyone's feeling vulnerable and everyone is not feeling heard. And when those things combine, we have a obligation to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and be kind. And I think that that's a really hard thing to do. And I think it's something that takes practice. And if it's something that you would like to work on, now is the time. Because people are watching, and especially younger people are watching. So we get to show them how to be the bigger person and how to be the cooler person, honestly. The vibe we all want to emulate, right? Okay. So I'm going to jump into the messages this week. I'm really just feeling pulled to come right in. I chose kind of like a palette of rose quartz, and not to say that they're all rose quartz, or that rose quartz itself was the vibe. It was more the feeling of a general palette of mellowness that I think everyone is seeking. So the energy this week is coming with a message of self-care, and that is the vibe that we're going to go with here. All right, so I'm going to just connect. Okay. And also would love to hear how this lands for you and how you enjoy the choosing of items. All right, here we go. So if you chose one, there's something that has recently concluded. A decision has been made, and I think it's something that you've made with yourself, one, and the decision that's been made is closing a door on a path that was open for a while, as paths are. We make so many micro decisions, you don't even realize it. And in this instance, though, this choice was kind of made. It's almost as if your body made the choice. It's almost as if you intuited it yourself before actually making the decision. You may not have physically spoken this decision out yet. It might be something that you're looking to, that you're just kind of settling within yourself, and that's okay too. Take your time. Your pace is not something that's in question here. Your personal integrity and how you feel about yourself is more important, and that is the message. It's more important about how you feel coming away from the situation. It's more important that you feel right about it, that you feel like you got to say your piece, that you feel like you were able to be heard, that you feel like the other party or whomever else is involved in this sort of, there's like layers here. It has to do with some themes that have been cropping up again over time. This is not surprising as we're in retrograde season, because we're going to have that opportunity to renew, right? To review, to repeat sometimes, to relive, to rethink, reimagine, reframe. And with all of those opportunities, it can get a little bit overwhelming, because it almost seems like there's a lot of extra distraction now that this decision has been made, even if it's just an energetic way with yourself, you're able to kind of detach a little bit and gain some energy back. Before you go and turn to either explain or talk about this or go and start a new project, please give yourself a little bit of space to kind of recoup, because there is a need for a little bit of downtime before you take on something else. You're the one making yourself feel like being productive means that you're worthy. You're the one pushing yourself, and you don't have to. That expectation is something that you're holding, okay? And that's all right. It's just not helping you, okay? And we want to be helped. All right. Let's see. Moving on to 2. If you chose 2, there's a light energy that is connecting, and there's a real hope for something different. There's a feeling of reinvigoration in an area that you had kind of abandoned, and it's not because you didn't want to. It's almost you just got too busy. There's too much going on. And now you're starting to see windows and pockets where you can have that freedom and that creativity. This energy of Leo season is really going to allow you to have that forward movement that you've been craving, but haven't really been able to tap into because you've been a little bit up in your head. This is going to be more in the chest and in your heart space, and really wanting to be in a place where you can enact on the ideas that you have, and that you can do something about the situations that you're finding yourself uncomfortable in. You're bored. You're really bored, and you want change, and you're at a place where it doesn't feel like it's going to be comfy to change, and you don't want to do it, but you're at a place where you'd rather do this than stay where you are, and maybe you're coming to terms with that with yourself, similar to someone in tier 1, okay, where it might not have become crystallized to anybody else but you yet. But you're in that beginning stage where you've realized that you've got to shit or get off the pot. And not in so many terms. The decision time is now. And it's exciting because it allows you more room to do what you want, and to speak up a little bit more about what it is that you're wanting to create. The conversations that you've been having lately around food and around things that are, I'm seeing like Instagram posts, influencer type stuff, maybe even doing a lot of research, maybe like Pinterest, starting to get some ideas, and those of you in tier 2 might be in a electronic sort of hoarding state where you're kind of stockpiling things away and starting to do that digital hunting in order to find more information about the things that are interesting to you, and the things that you want to contribute to, or the things that you want to be a part of, or the conversations that you want to have a seat at the table. And now is a wonderful energy that's going to support that. So stay open and let yourself have those social moments, and keep some space open. You might feel like you want to go ahead and slot yourself some extra work, or not give yourself extra time off, or you're finding that you are having time off, not unexpected time off, and feel like you need to fill it with something that should be productive. Let it be creative. That's the message, okay? Let it be creative what you fill that time with. All right, tier 3. I connect with your energy 3. I instantly feel a stiffening in my neck that's moving into my shoulder on the left side. There's a difficulty in trusting what's coming next and that you'll be able to handle it. And I just want to say that I know exactly what that feels like in my own experience, and it's a really hard place to be. And I see you. But at the same time, if you can change your perspective about where you're at and what that feels like, and see that you're in a space like a chrysalis where the transformation has already begun, because you're in a space where you want to move from this density into a lighter, more productive, more joyful space that is I'm hearing less intense, less heavy. You're moving into a space where you're learning how to receive, and you're learning how to receive help, and that help comes in different ways. It comes in a community that's starting to be built around you, that's checking in on you. It comes in messages that you're starting to intuit on your own, through hearing people in passing, through music, through signs and symbols. You're starting to see the synchronicities that you are not alone, even if you are feeling a sense of loneliness and a sense of separateness. While that feeling is almost like a pendulum, the space in between becomes longer and longer, where in the past it was shorter and shorter, where the not feeling so great came more often, where now the lulls, the message is to pay attention to the fact that there are these huge lulls, and that allowing yourself to see how much you've gotten through and how you've developed a ability to cope and to hold yourself in a space of genuine vulnerability, but love and self-compassion, and that's a lot of work. And it's a really awesome thing that you've done for yourself and that you're learning to work through. So give yourself some grace and space. It gets better, I promise. Okay. 4. Tier 4. One of my favorites. Connecting with 4, there's been a real prevalence of a connection with nature, specifically with animals, that you're noticing. Perhaps you're thinking about getting a new pet, or you've been interacting with animals more. Maybe you've been doing some pet sitting, or there's been a significant other that's brought a pet with them into your life. Or you're at a stage where your pet is starting to require more from you, and it is becoming somewhat more front and center, in a sense that they are in a space where they're transitioning, and are starting to show that decline. And it is a very bizarro time, and at the same time it's truly beautiful. And what you are starting to learn is your connection to things is really the way you've learned how to love yourself. Your allowance to stay open and let yourself truly communicate in all the ways that you can communicate love between yourself and another living thing is a language that you can't get in any other way. It's a language you can't speak and communicate in any other way than this. And it causes you to cherish these moments more. you're starting to see where there are the same feelings that this evokes between animals and, they're like our children. And you're starting to experience that with others in your communities as well, in your family, even closer family, older family members, and are starting to see the same themes and starting to feel the same vulnerability, where it seems so much easier to tap into with an animal. And I'm feeling very emotional about that. It's very easy and natural to tap into with an animal. It's harder for us to tap into that when we are confronting our loved ones who are aging as well. So as you're going through this process and starting to also reflect on your own mortality and the things that are happening as time passes, and our agreeance with what happens in this dimension, the rules of the universe that we agree to, you learn a little bit more about what truly matters, and you're taking more time to enjoy those slower moments, to really savor and be in the present. Be in the present more is the message. Please be in the present more, because there is so much that's happening right now, and you're looking for something to happen, but it's happening right now. The slowdown is for a reason. It's a perceived slowdown. It's an opportunity for you to cultivate this time and be truly present. Okay? All right. So those are the messages this week. Would love to hear how they land for you. Would love to hear about the selection process and what you think about it. Please leave me some feedback. Would love to work with you, so please reach out. I have lots of options and would love to get creative with you. So send me a message, send me a DM, fill out the contact form on my website. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Would love to hear how things are going for you. And just keep your chin up and know that I got your back. All right. Peace out. Bye.